Hey guys, Rito here, and I want to show you a quick way to create outlines using the Compositor, and instead of using other methods like inverse hull or material outlines or some other way. This is just one that I found that can be useful, especially if you have a really high poly character and you don't want to use the inverse hull, which would basically double the amount of polys you would be rendering. That could take a bit of time from your render. So the way I do it, this is gonna be a very quick tutorial. And this is actually a method that you can see in some games, which is the mist pass. This pass, and this is something similar I can show you here in Elite Dangerous. You can see these holograms are probably done the same way. And that's also how Reshade, which is a modification for graphics, you can use Reshade to also do something similar. So these green lines are using Reshade. That's a very similar way. And how it works is by using the depth buffer of the game. It uses this data to create effects and all of that. So I was thinking that maybe there was a way to do that in Blender as well to get some nice outlines. Unfortunately, these are not real time using the Compositor, obviously, because this is processed after rendering. So the way you do it is you start by getting a... Let me pause the game so you don't get background noise. And going to filter, and you get the dilate, erode. Go through here. Now we can see what it's doing. I think you can guess what it's gonna do. Let's do like -3. And now we need to separate to actually make the lines. So let's do a mix node. Do this, then you connect the original on the first slot. Might see you get these two. Now you can see if you go in between, it's also put the scale to 100, render it real quick. Go. Okay, now we get bigger scale. You can see an outline when you put it in between. What we gotta do is just set this to difference, and now we get this. This is exactly what we want. I'm not sure that's the way they do in the shaders. That's probably not. They probably do something else, but it also uses a mist. You can probably also do the same with the depth buffer, which you can't really see here. You have to multiply or something like that to get the actual value. Or use a... what's it called? Oh boy. Map range? No, not map value. A map range and crush the values, and you actually need to use it here as well. You connect here. Now increase this. You can get a bit more clear lines. Too much. I think 175 is pretty decent, because then these would be invisible if you go too low. That's pretty good. Now the next step is going with a alpha over. Connect here, connect this to factor, connect the original image to the top. Now here, go black, and we get the outlines. Very simple. You can also do this with the mix node, because I think if you use other colors it gets kind of weird. So maybe if we use a mix, get a better result. Nope, it's still kind of weird. You can probably mess with it, get it better look, but this is real quick with the dark lines. And you can also animate it. I have here an example. You can see it works with animation. Now obviously, or well, not obviously, but if you have a floor, sometimes you get some weird color ramp because of the distance that it's trying to. You'll get something like what we had at the start, which is like a ramp like this, but on the floor. And it can possibly cover stuff. You don't really notice here much, but you'll notice if you run into that problem. Yeah. If you have any trouble following the tutorial, you can get the file directly from Gumroad. I'll have there. But that file is mostly for people who want to support me, so I have put a $1 price tag on it, because honestly, this is really simple. I don't expect people to have trouble with it, but if for some reason you do, the file is there for $1. And yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Peace.